everybody, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, I bring you a item lock deck. Yes, it is Vikavolt V versus Single Strike Urshifu here in Kissimmee House of Rules, and we're gonna take a look uh, how well does Vikavolt V works, and if it actually works on this new meta where we have a bunch of Mews, a bunch of Gengars, uh, all of that stuff and a lot of decks that plays items a lot. So I want to see if Vikavolt or item lock in general is actually good or not. So we're gonna take a look here at this matchup and let's see how it goes. It just setting up over here. And let's see who goes first. You got Vikavolt on the right and Single Striker Shifu with Umbreon on the left. You can see already here that my opponent is playing the VIP version of the deck with Crambomatic. Me personally, in general, I do not like the list because if you pair up Single Striker Shifu with Umbreon, the deck becomes clunky as it is. Now, if you add all of this VIP passes and Chromatics, sometimes you start with them, and it's actually pretty good if you start with them, and it's actually pretty good once you hit the Chromatic and you flip heads. Don't get me wrong, it is so satisfying, but there are times where you go second and then you play research and then you play your stadium to draw 2 extra cards, 8 in total, and you get no VIP passes, and it is extremely annoying. But my opponent starts with VIP pass and Cramomatic. Very good for him. And let's see what Pokemon he decided to start with first. He started with the Single Striker Shifu, and he got plenty of options. And I think he's going first due to the fact that he benched the Houndour, or the Houndoom, however you want to call it, a little doggy. So I think my opponent here is going first, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's going first. Top deck in the Urn of Vitality. He also has a Capture Energy, which is pretty good. With that VIP pass, he can get 2 Houndours, and with the Capture Energy, he can probably get another dog, another Houndour there, and then he will have his bench set up and ready to go. And then for next turn, all he needs is, I don't know if he has a supporter in hand, but all he will need is Marnie or Research, and he will be good to go. Let's see, it's debating whether or not he plays the little extra dog. If in my opinion, I will play it, because we already have a free boss's orders there with the Umbreon V, and he's going to just search for one. I would have searched for the other one, but again, I don't know if my opponent has any supporter in hand, so probably when he plays the Capture Energy, he'll get that third Houndour in play. But yeah, he does not have any supporter in hand, so that's why he probably didn't want to play it, and he's also failing the Capture Energy, so that is kind of weird. I would have thinned the deck, thinning 2 cards is better than nothing. I know that you don't have any supporters there, but that Cramomatic probably can get you something with the coin flip. You never know. There it is. We top deck one of the Sobbles, and then we're quick balling, discarding one of the quick shootings. In my opinion, I would have saved it, but okay, I haven't taken a pic of my hand, so we're gonna be taking a look here. We're gonna get Vikavolt. Do we have energy to power this boy up? And also, it will be good if we have like a Fan of Waves. If we play Fan of Wave here, we will put my opponent in a very weird spot situation. We're getting another Sobble. and that speed energy will probably get us the fan. We also have Surge and Marnie, I think, in hand, so those cards can draw us more stuff. Not only the fan of wave, but also the uh, crushing hammers. And there is, we have a stadium to so that my opponent cannot use the Umbreon VMAX ability, and we're just gonna pass. And he top stacks the search. That is pretty good. Cryptomatic, you're discarding one urn. That is pretty good to see in the discard pile. You know, I know that my opponent does not have a chance here. Doesn't have like an option because he top decked the research. He will be able to automatically discard it, but playing an item lock deck and watching your opponent discard an urn is good news due to the fact that for example, he has that single strike energy in hand. If he attaches into the Urshifu, and if we get a hammer, we can put that energy in the discard pile, forcing my opponent to use a second urn of vitality and put it at the discard pile. So it's pretty good. And with the item lock, my opponent would not be able to use them. So either way, he will be locked. But again, we need to figure out a way to get out of this active, this Sobble out of the active spot. We top deck another energy, which is pretty nice. Let's see what those top two. We got a Drizzle there. That Drizzle will probably get us a scoop up net, scooping that up, bringing the Vikavolt in the active spot, so that way we can put pressure in my opponent with the item lock. And also, I saw that we have a Boss's Orders in hand. If we play, we can also play Boss's Orders, bring one of the Houndowers or one of the Umbreons into the active, so that way my opponent doesn't switch because due to the item lock. And there it is, another Drizzle hitting the bench, probably getting another level ball. If we with that level ball we can, I'll probably get not the level ball but the fan of wave. But no, we're gonna go for the level ball, and getting that Drizzle and getting the hammer. So let's see if this hammers hits. You know, if it doesn't hit, we're gonna be in a we're not gonna be in that much of a problem, but still, let's see. And I think it's a heads. It's a head, so we discard the single strike energy. That is pretty good. Boss in the order, the Umbreon V, also very nice. And let the item lock begin. Now, also, my opponent does not have a supporter yet again, so that's gonna be very tricky. And like I said, right now he cannot attach air balloon. He cannot play switch. No quick balls. No nothing. And if he top decks a Crobat, he cannot use the Crobat due to the fact that we have the Path of the Peak in play. So that's gonna be putting pressure on my opponent also. And that is, my opponent evolves the Urshifu and attaching the single strike energy. I would have hold on to it due to the fact that unfortunately my opponent cannot play items, so that's pretty good. And he just going to pass. And we top deck another Vikavolt. That's pretty good. We don't want to play Marnie here. If we play Marnie, we help our opponent to get more cards, and then the quick shooting will be going on there. We have supporters. We can play supporter. We have a research in hand, but you know, we do not want to. I think we have a Marnie and a research in hand. And now that my opponent has a bench, I'm not bench, but attached 3 energies, I think we're gonna be playing the research, so that way we can get our fans, our hammers, and then keep putting pressure on my opponent. Because if we get rid of those single strike energies, that is going to be very good. And even we can play also the Fan of Wave, putting that energy, that single strike energy, in the deck. But once he uses the Houndour ability, that will hit him for like 20 more. So that will uh, put our math in like a good position, I guess, or something. And we have Tool Scraper. We don't need it. I wish we hadn't draw it now. We could have saved it for later. I mean, my opponent cannot play items, but still, you don't know if my opponent bought something and we should get stuck in the active, or some weird shenanigans there. Uh, but we're going to be doing again quick shooting into the Urshifu and 50 damage into that Umbreon. Now that Umbreon has 120, 130, 140, 150 damage, which is pretty good. Now that he has 150, we need to find ourselves a boss's orders, so that way, if we find ourselves a boss order, we can just boss's orders probably the other Umbreon, and then quick shoot the Umbreon with the damage counters on it. Or if we can find ourselves the all of our hammers, and talking about hammers, we found ourselves the hammer. We're going to target the other Umbreon, which is pretty good. And now let's see if the hammers hit in this situation. We can also be using the second attack of Vikavolt here, but we kind of don't want to, because we do not want to take a straight knockout here. We could do 190 into this Umbreon for next turn. No, not next turn, because if next turn we knock it out, but we could have probably attached the lightning energy into the active Vikavolt, and my opponent cannot use the ability of gusting due to Path to the Peak. And but if we decide, oh, he has a supporter. But if we decide to attack with 190, that will mean that my opponent will be able to play a bunch of items, and this is the trick of the game of the deck. We do not want my opponent to play no items, no switches, no air balloons, no nothing. So now let's see here. He's I think he evolved. Yeah, he is using the evolution ability to attach there into the active, meaning that my opponent will be able to hit me for 200 with the beatdown ability, with the beatdown attack of Urshifu. But that will also mean that my opponent will be forced to discard 2 energies out of his active Pokemon, and then that will mean that right now 2 energies down. Now I think we have played 2 hammers so far. We have 2 mores and the Fan of Waves. So right now, oh no, he's doing more. He's doing 120 due to the single strike. Single strike energy adds 20 more damage, so he's doing 120 plus weakness is 240. So let's see if this hits, and it does. It does hit, so we're gonna get rid of the single strike energy, so that way my opponent does not is not able to attack us for X amount of damage. And now, man, if we can find ourselves another Drizzle, and we're gonna be bossing orders the other, we're gonna be bossing orders again the Umbreon, leaving it stuck into the active, and probably attacking with 50 more item and another item log. So now my opponent is in a very tough spot here, not being able to retreat. My opponent also does not play the hiding dark energy. He would play by now, I think, which will allow his Umbreon to retreat and then use the single strike ability if he has more. But I don't think my opponent has that much more of the energies. in the deck. He only had one when he used the first ability, but my opponent is item locked, so he cannot use that Urn of Vitality. Pretty annoying, the item lock in this scenario here. Pretty good, also putting a lot of pressure into this Urshifu, and single strike ability. And he has another one. That's pretty good. He has another energy there. The thing is, my opponent needs to draw a boss's orders. If my opponent is able to draw another boss's orders, he will be able to, you know, target one of those Sobbles or Drishals, knock it out, and then, you know, prevent the item lock for one turn, because that's all he needs. So one more turn, one turn without item lock, and then he can do marvelous stuff. And then we're probably gonna get another Drishal there. We also have Raihan, but we don't actually need Raihan in this turn. We're gonna get Drishal and a Crushing Hammer. Pretty good. That will be the third Crushing Hammer that we play. Now we have to see if it hits. If it hits, I think we will be winning this. Quick shooting for the knockout there on the Umbreon. Taking our first two prizes also. Let's see. And let's see if it hits the Crushing Hammer. And it does hit! It does hit! So my opponent is scooping. He says, no, I cannot deal with this no more. No more of this painful matchup here. But as you can see, item lock has a little bit of potential. I wish that I was able to play. I hoped that I was going to get pair another Mew just to see how it works with Mew, because Mew relies on items. It relies on item, and since Mew relies on items, I think this deck will beat up Mew. That's just me saying, you know, it has a with the Mew free retreat, but if you manage to put a Genesect in the active spot, that you probably have a little bit of a chance. But there it is, the matchup between Urshifu and Vikavolt. Item lock. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did. Playing this is quite fun. Sometimes you break, but that's just part of it. So you have to carry both sacks, you know, the winning one and the losing one. But this one we won, so we're champions now. Now let's go for the next video. You'll see more of the Vikavolt shenanigans here, and that will be it for the video. Like I always, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know what type of decks you want to see showcasing in here. Now that we showcased the last week, I think it was, we showcased Rapid Strike Urshifu with the Moltres engine, and now we're showcasing here Vikavolt to see how it goes. And probably I'm going to be testing out just full Umbreon VMAX with no Urshifu or nothing. I'm trying to see if I can build it here for the online, so I can test it on online and then bring it to the tournament so you guys can see if it actually works in IRL. But without further ado, guys, hope you liked the video. Have a good day and peace out.